Hi everyone, it's Katie from Create Your Future. I am a law of attraction coach, a certified life coach, and meditation teacher here. And today I have a success story for you about how one of my clients was able to get her specific person to say verbatim some of her inner conversations to her. She actually has two success stories too. The second one's about how she got her dream job and how she did it through all inner conversations and it just came to her. She did not lift a finger. So I will read directly from what she wrote. And then towards the end of this, I will give you some examples of some inner conversations you can start to have that will create on the inside and then get pushed out. Okay? So she says, "Hi Katie, I'm so excited to tell you these success stories. I am not sending one, but two. First of all, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. You gave me the confidence to believe in myself, to feel limitless, to overcome blocks and challenges that 1 year ago made me feel like a victim. After working with you, I finally feel at ease, happy, confident, and know trust that I can get everything I desire. You also show me that time is irrelevant, which, in my honest opinion, is one of the biggest breakthroughs I have ever experienced. Yes. Time does not matter. It doesn't matter." So let's go to success story number one. In our last session, I mentioned I wanted to move to another country. I started applying for jobs and I got offers in less than 2 weeks. One of them was an offer that gave me twice what I imagined I would get as a salary, a full relocation package and more. This is where the exciting part comes in. I had a discussion in my current company that I wanted to move. And they offered me transfer within a week and two people saying things like this: "We love you and your work. Please stay with us. You are the best at what you do. Your passion and skills make you priceless." Right? And these were all, she was practicing in our conversations when we did it together. She was practicing on, changing jobs, right? And just hearing what you would hear, you go right to the end. What would you hear if you already had your dream job? Right? So it got pushed out in multiple places. So they even got to the point where they explained to me it was in the company's best interest that I move. Okay, I love this part, which I never thought about. That is how much the universe supports us. So I want to pause here because this part is so cool. When you have a desire, not only is it meant to be, not only is it a promise for you, but you'll find that everyone involved in your desire coming to fruition benefits. Everyone. It is the natural evolutionary step. So whether this is an SP, or a specific person, or a new job, or anything you're desiring, more money, a healthier body, if you kind of look at all the players involved, whether you know them or not, you don't need to know who they are, right? Same specific person, don't need to know who it is, doesn't matter. But when you focus on what they would say to you, right, and how everyone benefits, there is a benefit for everyone. With every desire that you step into, everyone in your world is evolving with you because everyone is you pushed out. Everyone is you, right? Everyone's just playing their part in your movie, right? So every time you go into that next desire, everyone benefits. And I think that's a really cool way to just imagine like the whole world is you pushed out. They're all on your side. Everyone benefits. Everyone wants you to get your desire because they're all going to benefit in some way too. And so I think it's completely worth taking the time to be like, how would my specific person benefit? How would my new employer benefit? How would others benefit from me being healthier, from me being more wealthy, from me being, more content and happy? How does my specific person benefit from me evoking the best out of them and us being together? And you will find the best version in everyone. All right, let's continue. So back to the job. I stopped focusing on the why, how, and when. I only focused on me moving, having the same wonderful job, right? So we have to let go of those questions. Or if you can't let go of those questions, I always remind myself how or why, right? Because my desire is a promise. My desire is a promise. It's the next evolutionary step. How? I'm going to do my inner conversations. That's how. I'm going to go there consciously and I know that's going to have to get pushed out. When? Well, it's happening as soon as I do it within. What's happening in the 4D is what's really happening. So it's happening right now with every new inner conversation, with every new intention. It is happening right now. I am becoming more and more of that version of me that has my desire. So you can answer those questions on the inside, but then how it works itself out in the 3D is always a surprise, and that's fun. Okay. So she goes back to, I only focused on me moving, having the same wonderful job, that things come so easily to me, just as we practiced in our last session. So something I'll do in my sessions with clients is just really focus on the version of you where it flows. Everything is so attracted to you. You are so magnetic. You just think the thoughts. You just have the inner conversations. That's all you have to do. And everything will rearrange itself. If 1,000 people have to move to bring you your desire, they will bring you your desire. Okay? So I decided to stay with my current company, and I officially will be moving in less than a month. Woo! You helped me go through all my blocks. The main one being that family wouldn't accept it. So another thing I'll do in these sessions is if we're onto a new desire and you feel stuck in some way, it feels really unnatural, you feel uncomfortable, doesn't feel believable, something I like to do is focus on, why do you think this won't happen? And let's write them all down, and we go and revise every single one and do inner conversations to back it up. Okay? So we did that, and she got through some blocks. Okay? So I must add something really important, she says. Even though to anyone on the outside it seems that inner conversations are specific person oriented, that isn't true. Your help and design of our inner conversations apply to everything. Yes, I said this in the last video. You are having inner conversations with everything, with everyone, right? Every time you're thinking about, like, you're drinking a glass of water, you're having a conversation with your water. Every time you're thinking about that new job, you're having a conversation with that job. When you're thinking about money, you're having a conversation with money. When you are, thinking about a TV show, you're having a conversation with that, with the events of that, with the theme of that. You're interacting with it. And the more you interact with it, the more you focus on it, right? Once that becomes dominant, it's going to get pushed out. But you are talking with everything, right? So yes, you can use inner conversations with everything, okay? So let's go on to success story number 2. Okay. Success story number 2. I started working with you in a state of victim mentality where everyone was on a pedestal with the goal of getting my specific person to come back. Now things have changed. I'm still working on the specific person I started with, but in the last few weeks since our last session, well, she says, multiple specific people have come into my life. One in particular is reflecting the exact inner conversations I have. This means I'm on the right track. Exactly. I have no doubt that my original specific person will conform and show up. So a lot of people ask me about this, like, what if other people show up? Because that will happen. We start doing these inner conversations. We're changing our self-concept. Multiple people start showing up. It just means you're on track, right? Does it mean you have to go be with someone else? No, you can stay with your original specific person. But you just want to see that as like, okay, this is getting pushed out through the path of least resistance. Okay, so it's just a brilliant sign that the inner conversations are working. They're always working, but it's really nice when you start to see that get reflected. So she says, the new specific person is messaging me, calling me every single day from the moment he wakes up till he goes to sleep. He introduced me to his friends and they love me. Some of his friends sent me a request to add them, one telling me I'm a cutie pie. It is so fun, so unbelievable that working on your self-concept through inner conversation and meditation gets you to this point of bliss. Right now, I feel I don't need anything. So she's clearly writing this from like the Sabbath, right? Right now, I feel I don't need anything. Everything comes to me so easily and effortlessly. My 3D conforms so fast to my inner reality, and everything I think about just shows up almost instantly. Well, it does instantly, right? Because you think of it and it's there instantly. And then, of course, it flows out, okay? And just as you said, it is a fun process. Enjoy it. Have fun with it. Thank you, Katie and CYF team. You make the future look bright, happy, and full of possibilities. P.S. Can't wait to our next session and the next amazing manifesting steps in my life. Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. Okay, so I want to speak to the fun of all this, okay? She clearly, when she wrote this, was in a state of the Sabbath. And when we're in the state of the Sabbath, and what the Sabbath is you've been doing your inner conversations, you're working on your self-concept. Like you have the picture so clearly in your mind of your wish fulfilled. Right? You really, your inner conversations with your SPs are happening constantly. And what starts to happen is you enter into the state of conviction. Like you just know it's done. Right? And it might just be for minutes a day. Maybe it's an hour one day. Maybe it's a whole weekend, right? It gets longer and longer the more you do it. Until eventually you see the results of it. But when you're in the Sabbath, something I strive for with every meditation, every time I do inner conversations, I'm looking to get to that place of calm, to that place of peace, right? I want to soothe myself until I really reach the frequency, the vibrational state of who I would be, what I would be saying if my wish was already fulfilled, right? So I like to look at, okay, this desire I have to be in my specific person. And let's say you're manifesting your specific person for the holidays or something like that, right? You have a very specific wish. That wish, that reality already exists. It exists here and now. It's ready for you. And all you ever have to do is discover the conversations you'd be having if that desire were already manifested here and now. Right? Who am I in that wish fulfilled? Who are they in the wish fulfilled? What conversations are happening around us? And so it literally is like scripting. It's just, what would this scene be? What would the imaginal scene be? What would I be saying? What would they be saying? What would I be thinking? What would they be thinking? What would others think around this? And if you've been to any of my workshops, you know, like, this is what we really focus on, is building out this scene. Because I know if I can get this scene, if I can start to think these thoughts that I'd be thinking, if I can start to assume the thoughts they'd be thinking, and I start to practice that again and again, my subconscious is going to be like, okay, that's where we're at. Psychologically, I'm going into that state. And because there's nothing but consciousness in this world, once I consciously assume the wish fulfilled dominantly within, it has to get pushed out. But what happens before it gets pushed out is you've gone there enough time, it feels natural. It feels neutral. Now, the journey there does not feel like that. You're going to have every negative thought come up. You're going to have every negative conversation come up. There's going to be the purification of the mind. And that's where we learn to persist. That's where we do inner conversations to help soothe us, right? That's where we have to really kind of get through these building blocks of getting to that next vibrational state. But we can do it through inner conversations. And when you know it's going to happen no matter what, it can be a joyful journey. And that's what I really suggest to all my clients is try to enjoy this part. I know it can be difficult, but remember, your emotions are just telling you if your thoughts are basically on par with your desired reality or not. So your emotions, I know we can feel the despair, we can feel hopelessness, we can feel dread, but it's just letting you know we're just getting rid of some old thoughts that want to be changed. So I want you to start seeing that as momentum, not a bad thing. Those days when you're purging, and you're writing down all the negative thoughts, and you're doing the inner conversation to soothe yourself, and sometimes it just feels like, this is madness. I want you to remember that you are changing states. You are changing yourself on every single level. It's not necessarily an easy process, but it's profound. It is so worth it, because not only are you going to get your manifestation, right, but you're becoming the version of you that is loved, that is wanted, that is adored, that is powerful, that is the supreme power. And that's worth everything. And so if you can find any glimpse of happiness in this, like, I'm doing this inner work, this is happening, and you can really start to hear the comfort and love from your inner specific person on the way, it can be a joyful journey. Just like, any challenge that we overcome, there's so much joy in that because of, how hard we've worked. Okay. And so let's do some inner conversations just to get you through the purification of the mind, because I think that can be so helpful. And then you'll find yourself in that state of bliss where all is done. All is well. You know it's happening. You know you're spending the holidays with your specific person. You know your desire is a promise. You know your imagination creates reality. You know everything is sorted. There's nothing more to do. So some things you can hear from your specific person when you have every doubt, right, going on. These are the ones I like to hear. So I'll imagine they're half of my body. And I'll imagine that they're there co-creating this with me. And they might say to me, keep going. I want this as badly as you want this. I want this even more. I can't wait to spend the holidays with you. I love you so much. I've always been there for you. I'm so glad you're bringing this version of me into our reality. I'm so thankful that you're allowing yourself to be loved and cherished and adored the way that you're meant to. I'm so proud of you for owning your power, the supreme power that you are. I'm so just inspired by watching you persist and persist and persist. Look how strong you are. Look how mentally strong you are. Look how you're opening your heart. Look how you're becoming an inspiration for me and for others. Look at this incredible reality you're creating for all of us. We all want to see you get this because we all benefit from this. And then you want to receive and respond to your person with thank you for encouraging me. Thank you for reminding me of my power. Thank you for helping me keep going. Thank you for bringing me into the Sabbath. I'm so glad that I really feel the peace and the calm and I know it's done. Thank you for showing me these visions of us spending the holidays together and just knowing it's done. Thank you for instilling me with so much confidence and so much love. I feel so blessed. I feel so worthy. I feel so adored. I'm so proud of myself for creating this version of me, for choosing this reality that I'm so worthy of. I'm so glad that it's done. I'm so happy I just focused on my inner conversations and they got pushed out so easily. So that's an example of how you can just motivate yourself through your specific person, through you, and then you push out a really motivating version of your specific person, and it's going to really help soothe you through the hard times, okay? Now, if you need more help during those hard times, feel free to book a one-on-one session with me. If you just want to master inner conversations, check out my inner conversations course. If you want to master the inner world and start to meditate more frequently and focus on that scene, do the 7-day inner conversations challenge. If you want to work on revision and just getting really good at the imaginal scenes, do any of my workshops. And if you want to just really learn how to bliss out and meditate that it's done in the Sabbath, go to any of my live meditations or check out the pre-recorded ones. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.